Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for clicking on this video. I promise I won't be before you long today because I gotta go cook. But I am here today because I wanted to do a reading. Um, this is my weekly reading on a missing persons or unsolved crime or cold case crime. And today, I will be discussing Asha Degree. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Asha Degree's case, she was a 9-year-old girl from Shelby, North Carolina, and she went missing Valentine's Day in the year 2000, I believe. Um, was it the, no. It was 1999, I believe. Okay. She went missing when she was 9 years old. Um, and she's been missing ever since. And recently, her family celebrated, or not celebrated, I'm sorry, observed the 21 years that she's been missing. This is a really popular case, believe it or not, amongst um, the online community. There is a whole Reddit forum dedicated, web sleuths. Like, there are a lot of armchair detectives who have spent years trying to figure out what happened to this girl. Her family has hope that she's still alive, and I have been interested in this case for a very long time as well. I haven't really um, dug into the facts of the case just because I didn't feel the need to. Um, and I don't feel like there is enough information since this is still an ongoing investigation. There isn't really enough information released to be able to conclusive, draw good conclusions. Um, Based on what the police have released about this case, it's obvious that there's a lot that they're still holding back, understandably so, because, like I said, this is an ongoing case. But this is something that has been on my heart to do for a very long time. And as I mentioned in my first or second videos of Roberta Johnson, that if I carry these cases around, if I hold the memory of these people in my spirit like this for years and years and years, people that I don't know, people that I don't have any reason to be contemplating about all the time, um, that lets me know that there is something that they would like to be communicated. And since I am a clear channel for them to communicate, I'm going to give Asia an opportunity today to communicate anything that she may have to say. So, with that being said, I do have questions that I would like to ask Asia herself, but I'm going to just shuffle the cards and I'm going to allow Asia Degree to speak. Now, 2 nights ago, when I began contemplating on this case, because it was two cases that I had planned on doing today, Asia Degree and a person from my hometown. His name is Jira Rains. And I was actually going to do him first because I have done readings on him before. I've shared a reading that I've done on him before with one of his close friends. And to that person, if you see this video, there were some things that I think I got wrong in that reading because I did another reading, and there were some things that I wasn't seeing correctly. Um, However, when I was thinking about Jira, I almost felt like, okay, so I was thinking about Jira. I was actually online looking up some information for me to pull up his natal chart so that I can compare his birth chart to the day that he died, and then I could see, um, by doing the synastry on those two charts what happened to him. Um, so as I was looking at information for him, like his birthday and stuff like that, I came across a story of Asia Degree. Now, I had planned on doing a reading on Asia eventually, except I was planning on doing Gyra first because I went to visit my grandparents' grave a few weeks ago, and his grave is in the same cemetery as my grandparents. And so when I was leaving them, I actually stopped by his grave and paid my respects to him because he's always on my spirit. And so I wanted to pay my respects to him because I knew I was going to do a reading on him eventually, and I wanted to ask if it was okay if I read into his energy, since I felt like he kind of wanted me to, just because he was murdered. And in my hometown, I don't think there are a lot of people like me who do this. And so I felt like he wanted me to do it because he knows that I'm from his hometown and he knows I can hear him. However, as I was looking for information on him, I came across the article about Asia, and I instantly thought, I'm going to do both of them on the same day. But then I could hear in my spirit, do her. Now, Asia and Jira are both Leos. Um, Jira is a late July Leo, and Asia is an early August Leo. Her birthday is August 5th. Um, and coincidentally, they would be the same age. They were both born in 1990. Um, I believe Jira was July 24th or the 27th. Asia is August 5th. Both of them born in 1990. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, well, I can see why they're both here. They're both Leos, and I had intended to do both of their readings eventually. I was just going to do his first, but I felt in my spirit he was saying, do her first. Um, and so I will, and I think it's because she's been waiting a little bit longer than he has. And I've done readings on him, and I kind of already have a clear picture of what happened, um, and who happened. Um, and I may just go ahead and do that tomorrow. I may do it later today, depending on how much energy this reading takes. But I said, okay, I'm going to do Asia first. When I was looking at their birth charts, they're almost identical, and that's easy because their birthdays are so close. So reading their charts was interesting because I saw a lot of similarities in and what happened to them. Um, they were both, let me just put this out there, they were both harmed by someone they knew, someone that they were familiar with, and not just familiar with, but they knew. Okay, so the same night, 2 nights ago, as I was looking at both of their birth charts, and I was actually comparing their birth charts because I was amazed at how similar their situations were. That night, when I went to sleep, I had a dream. And in that dream, there was the first part of the dream that I don't know if it had anything to do with the cases. So I'll leave that part out. But I don't remember a lot, even though this dream, I think it lasted all night. However, the part that stuck out to me was I was sitting in a church, a Baptist church, a southern Black people church. Um, it had um, like that dirty red or burnt red or burgundy old carpet that a lot of old Baptist churches have. And I was sitting in a church chair. I call it a church chair. We have one on the porch right here. Um, should I just flip it around so you can see it? Anyways, it was a church chair, and I was sitting like in a, not in the sanctuary, but like in the back of the church, where there are rooms and stuff like that. I was sitting there and I saw a woman and her daughter, maybe the first lady of the church, maybe Asha and her mother, but they were walking from one room of the church to another, and they were giving me a dirty look. Not the daughter, but the mother. She was giving me a dirty look, and it wasn't like a full on look. It was kind of like a side glance, but it was almost like, "Why are you here?" That's what I felt like. Why are you here? She wouldn't look me directly in the face, but I got vibes off of this lady, and I got very. There is everybody knows this type of woman in the church, like a, I don't know how to describe it, but she was a very like a just any other Southern African American woman who is heavily involved in the church, very strict, or not strict, but very religious, and um, in a sense of um, strict in a religious sense. It's something I'm trying to describe because I grew up in the church, and my family is a family of ministers and pastors. So there's a certain behavior, there's a certain way that church people um, have about them, and it's for instance, it's the type of situation where like we are very religious. Our lives revolve around the church. My children don't do X, Y, and Z because of our religious beliefs, and very sheltered, almost controlling. Okay, so very religious, sheltered, and controlling like that. And I almost get the feeling that um, Asia's personality as a Leo, um, I don't want to say got her in trouble, but it was like it needed to be controlled or monitored and subdued because it's too worldly. She's not she's not obedient. She can be very strong in her personality, and that could be a concern to people who are controlling in a sense. I don't feel like I'm accurately describing myself, but I almost feel like Asia had her own mind. She had her own ideas, and she can only express those outside of home. So when she's around her friends, when she's around her peers, when she's around her cousins and things like that, she can really be herself. But at home, she can't do that because there was so much ri- rigidity. I'm sorry, I'm sitting outside and there are ants everywhere. So yeah, she couldn't, she wasn't allowed to be Asia and express her true self because it was too, it was too, her energy was too big to be contained, like most Leos. Um, so I get the sense that when she wasn't at home, that is when she really was able to show her true self. Okay, so I'm not going to ask any questions of her. Okay, and so one more thing I forgot. about that dream is that as I was sitting there in that church just observing, and I saw what I believed to be Asha and her mother um, walking and walking from one room to another, I heard daddy. And then I woke up. So I would say that's the last thing I remember about the dream is I heard daddy. And then I woke up. Um, so I don't know what to make of that actually. Ooh, cards are flying out. Okay. These three cards flew out. The Temperance card, the Fool card, the Emperor card. This is a Father card. This is a father figure card in this sense. And this card, the Fool card, it makes me feel, oh, on the bottom of the deck, the Death card. All right. These are all major arcanas. And I don't know how to feel about them right now. So just give me a second. The Death card. Um, so I know that Asia's family has hope that she's still alive, but I almost feel like she wants them to not worry anymore about her because she is not alive, but she's okay. I saw the Nine of Swords in reverse, and that's a card that's saying don't worry to me or stop worrying or coming out of anxiety. I want to clarify these three cards, especially the Temperance. Um, I get a lot of father figure cards in here. Um, Dad, hmm, hmm. Um, who did she get in the car with that night? She got in the car with somebody. Um, mm, Justice, family, the devil. Um, look at what cards came. Okay, the devil and death. Right on top of the Strength in Reverse card, that's the Leo card, the Family card in reverse, all of this sitting on top of Justice. So I'm curious about the family and what they may know. I'm sorry to say this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because I don't want to be that person. I want to be that person that goes along with the narrative. But these cards are so concerning to me. The World card, okay, first of all, she's not alive. And somebody in that family knows that. Somebody in the family knows. And the fact that I heard Daddy in my dream, and one of the first three cards I flipped out was the Father card, the Father figure card, the Emperor. I'm concerned about what you may know. Because I got the Four of Wands card, which is a home card, a family life card. King of Swords. I wonder what her dad's zodiac sign is, if he's an air sign or not. I'm not sure, but this is a person who can give clear communication with no emotions involved. They're sitting on a stone throne. There's no water in this card, no emotion. So, Dad, are you able to give your account of the story um, without being able to show any emotion? And not saying like crying or anything like that, but you're very good at speaking and giving your narrative, although if there was any emotion tied to it, like guilt or shame, you wouldn't show it. Asia, I feel like you weren't running to something. You were running away from something in that house or within the family unit. Mom, did you turn a blind eye to anything? These are just questions. These are just questions that are popping up in my mind as I sit here and meditate on it. Because the narrative that's forming in my mind, I don't really want to come out and say it just yet. So, so, so I'm just going to frame them as questions. And because I understand the Black church culture so much, I understand that there are things that can happen um, that people will turn a blind eye to because it's happened in so many of our lives. So many of us raised in the church, um, so many people have had experiences, um, and people turn a blind eye to them because they don't want to deal with certain things. Hmm. I don't like I don't like this idea. The hangman. I keep hearing you knew, um, but you didn't do anything. This person is enlightened. This person is hanging from a tree, but they choose to be this way. And they have enlightenment. They're only suspended by 1 foot. They could get down, but they choose to remain suspended and aloof because it's almost like they have faith. So I get the sense that somebody knew that something was happening to Asia and turned a blind eye, chose to be hands off. They had enlightenment. They knew that something was happening with Asia that should not have been happening with Asia. Mom, look at these cards on the bottom of the deck. The Empress, mother. The Queen of Cups, mother. A spiritual person with intuition. Releasing a burden. The Five of Pentacles is a mother and her crippled child on the outside of a church. Death reverse. The Eight of Wands. Mom, you knew. You knew something was happening with your child. Somebody, I want to say at the church that you guys were attending, was doing something to her. Could be her father, or could be, I don't know. Let me see. Ooh. So I wanted to clarify this Five of Pentacles because it has to do with the church. Look what I got. The damn devil, the Tower reverse, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The Death reverse. Mom. What is it about me getting these cases where the mothers are aware, are involved? The last one I did was Sanaya Dennis and her mother. Okay, Mom, this is you. And this is you acting like you don't know nothing. This is literally you turning your head the other way. Upright, this Page of Sword is collecting information. They're observing, they're watching, collecting information. But you were turning your head the other way. Turning your head the other way and not saying anything. Why didn't you say anything? Why did you let this happen to your child? At one point, were you and your husband considering a separation? Or were you thinking about it? You knew your husband or somebody was doing something to your daughter. You were thinking about leaving him. At some point because you knew your maternal instincts were they were there. This is so sad. The story that I'm getting, okay, Daddy has some secrets. Oh, this is so sad. Either the father did the father was abusing her, or somebody in the church. This is so sad because what I see is a story of secrets within the home, within the church. I see a mother who turned a blind eye to things um, in order to keep up this image of a good family life. And it's just like you were juggling whether you should leave, but then it's just like, how can I afford to do that? Was it like one of those situations where the husband is the sole provider? I don't know if the mother worked or not. She probably did, but I don't think that she would have been able, or I don't think that she thought she would have been able to um, leave her husband and take care of those kids alone. Plus, that's just not, that's not what, that's not how they wanted to be presented as a family that had these kind of problems in the home. Their image was very important to them. So I don't think anybody outside of the family would have been able to look at them and be like, oh, there's a lot going on in the home. Although something tells me that, it's a small town, it's a small church town, small community. Everybody knows each other. And there were rumors, which is another reason why it was so important for them to stay together and be a united front and to concoct a story. Asia had a brother, and I'm wondering if the brother was subject to any of the abuse as well, if he suspected it or if he knew it, because he's very, um, all these years, he has always defended his family. But when I think about him, I get not, it feels like a disassociation um, after trauma because it happened with me. So my experience with that is after my father was suddenly sent to prison, um, unexpectedly, it made me, the trauma made me desire to hold on to whatever family unit I had left in order to feel safe and secure. Even if there were things going on in the family that were harmful to me, I never said a word. And because our family had an image, and those were just things that I felt like if I were to be vocal about, like, I would be the one to destroy the family and destroy, the image of the family and the closeness of the family. So I didn't act different. I didn't say anything. The person who molested me and my family, I continued to play with them. They were older than me, so when I say play, I don't mean like play Barbie dolls, but it was an older cousin. But I continued to live a normal life around this person because I was so young. there are just things that a child isn't going to be able to rationalize, especially after something traumatic happens. They tend to, or they can tend to, uphold family image, even if it's not real. It's almost like a disassociation from what happened to you. You compartmentalize it and you move on as if everything's normal in the family because you don't want to be the one to cause any more dissension in the family, especially if you're a child. And I almost get that sense from O'Brien. And if he does know, it's, he may never say anything because he may not remember, because he may have compartmentalized it, or he just, this is one of those situations where like I can't articulate what it is, but I know what it is. All right, let me flip a card. Asia, this is you. Who is this King of Pentacles? Your father? Stepfather? I don't know if the man that your mother is married to is your father, your biological father or not, but this person was doing something to you that they should not have been doing. You were trying to get away from that. That's why you left, Asia. Because you're a fire sign. You're a strong willed girl. And you were tired of that shit. You were tired of it. You were tired of what they were doing to you. Your mother did not protect you, she didn't defend you. And you knew she knew, which is why you had no problems leaving. I'm wondering where you were running to, though. Here's this card again. Whoever was her provider, I believe that is who was harming her, and that is who she was leaving the house, or that is who may be responsible for her not being here. Hmm. Okay. All right. Let me just ask this. Asia, were you being molested by someone in your home? Were you being molested by someone in the home? Because this is what I'm really trying to get at. Were you being molested by someone in your home? Asia degree. Asia degree. This is my passionate card. This is a sex card for me. This is a promiscuous card for me. Upright, it would be, in my mind, someone who is promiscuous, but they have every right to be. For instance, if you're grown and you out here, you know, doing what you do, that's fine. You could be a hoe all you want. You can slang that wand anywhere. But this was a secret. So, yes, yes, yes. This is a secret that someone was trying to uphold, trying to keep these two pentacles in the air. because behind you, I don't know if y'all can see the troubled waters. What he's standing on is like a stage, though. So this is a facade. Trying to keep up this facade, but in reality, troubled waters behind you.